So, about the NHS court case that recently come to light, I guess, over a young girl who had a ruptured blood vessels in her brain causing permanent brain damage. So the parents took the NHS trust to court, and actually won the court case to have her transferred to a different country. I'm assuming for better healthcare and a chance of her trying out new treatments. I'm assuming experimental.
That shit really happens. So they must have had some sort of cause.
I'm thinking it might be that the doctors told them about something in a certain country. So I'm thinking, because let's be real.
It's the court that happens all the time. The difference this time is the court was like, yeah, sure, go. That's the big difference. That's something that makes me go, oh, what could have been different? Because
there was a previous case with a kid who had severe cancer. I think it was terminal at the time, and the father was told about beam therapy, and this was the time when we didn't have beam therapy in the NHS.
Yeah.
And I think he took him to Spain, which they had their first beam therapy machine fitted in there for, I can't remember when it was, the exact date, but he tried to take the NHS to court to allow him to transfer his kid to Spain. But the problem is, there's no health, it's not like here where you get free healthcare. You have to pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So at the time, I think it was quite
even with the e-hit card.
Yeah, even I think it was around about 30 to 40,000, if I'm not correct. It might have been a bit more or less. I can't 100% remember. But he took him to court. The court said no. He has to stay with the NHS to get treatment.
I mean, he didn't have to stay with the NHS. He just had to stay.
He had to stay in the hospital, basically. Yeah. That's what it was, because they said I don't think he was able to be transferred at the time. I think they were giving out. Yeah, I think it was chemotherapy at the time. He basically took off. And he drove him to Spain, which then the NHS put out a bolo at the time, claiming, not bolo, Amber Alert, claiming that he's kidnapped his son. And I was like, I remember reading this.
Where was the mother of all this?
I think the mother died, or the mother.
So then, technically, you can't kidnap your own son if you're the only person in parentis.
Well, that's my point exactly at the time. And then I remember reading it. I was like, it's not really kidnap. It's not kidnap. Mainly,
I guess they thought he was damaging the kid, right?
Well, I'm assuming that's the only reason why they would essentially do that.
Yeah.
He got to Spain. He got to the hospital that had the beam therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Spain was gracious enough to actually say, yeah, we'll do the treatment for your son.
Which is kind of funny, because Spain does have extradition treaties to the UK. So I'm surprised he gets sent right the fuck back.
Well, I think what they wanted to do was send him back, but keep the son at the hospital to treat.
Because he needed treatment.
Yeah, so they were like, we're not really going to let your kid die. That's just morally wrong and ethically wrong. So they basically were like, okay, you know what, we'll give you a chance kind of thing. We'll give you what you need and allow you to actually calmly go back home and sort it out with the NHS. They were like, this is something you have to pay for, whether it's cash, check, whatever. It has to be paid. Plus, they were like, we'll give it to you for a reduced price. I'm assuming because they asked about income and stuff like that, and then they wanted to work out treatment plan. As soon as that article, I as soon as the article came up about the whole thing, and I think it went onto the news as well at the time about a man who kidnapped his son, fleeing to Spain. People opened up crowdfund page,
Yeah.
a GoFundMe page, and actually donated, and he reached the target quota. And that's amazing because people normally don't donate for shit. Let's be real, like unless
I disagree with that.
I mean, unless it's Macmillan Cancer Support, which I donate to every year, because why not? Like, just cancer research. It's the whole thing after the NHS was still adamant on like sending. I think they wanted to arrest the guy and they wanted him to go to prison or something. But then they worked out with Spain. They worked out a whole thing. They said once we treat him, once he's stable enough, we'll bring him back to the NHS. The NHS then can look over him, do a checkup, and see what's going on, see whether the treatment works. But I think over the years, I think that case basically brought out a factor for parents in the UK to get treatment from different places. I think that helped out a lot more. Because if that didn't
set a new precedent, then
yeah, like if that didn't happen, I don't think this parent with her brain damaged daughter would have got the care or would have been able to transfer her kid to Italy. Like, I'd probably say, yeah, they would have given her a chance to transfer to possibly Great Ormond Street Hospital, but like not somewhere out of UK.
fair enough.
Quite interesting thing.